Okay, here at the shelter. This is the setup. What has it been like? Hasn't been a bad situation. Based on what I've went through. After what I've gone through, there's not too much you can scare me with. But it was a murder. I don't like the fact that the bathrooms are not clean at all. They never care about the hygiene of the bathrooms. This is, told to keep the toilet tissue downstairs. This is disgusting. No soap. Notice no soap. And I guess they don't have cleaners, or they come in once, or again, it's rough. It's been a process. See another bathroom, no soap. It's the men's bathroom. That's the stall that I just used. Not to put my business out there. But yeah. So this is one of the reasons why it's so hard for me to stay in these places. The staff, how the staff and the security treat you. It's not just how we treat each other. It's not, but again, there was literally just a murder that took place upstairs. That's not common though in these shelters, but it does happen. And it's happened last night. This morning, last night, but yeah. So why I came is to give myself a few days. I could never sustain being in these environments for long periods of time. I'd lose it. It's just too much energy to be around, too much testosterone, the smells. My government has got to come up with a better system, and I'm hoping to maybe help them. Because we always look at the government this, the government that, the government did this, the government that, not realizing we are also a part of that government. Overall, it's man school, it's man camp that most men avoid. If you look at the statistics, you'll find that, especially in our communities, a lot of us don't own our homes, and if you don't own it, that means you could potentially be evicted, despite the circumstance, based on the circumstances. And you also see, you would also see that a lot of men are on these programs, Section A, and rent control, rent stabilization, and all of that. And I don't have a problem with those things. But when do we stand up and be men? When do we do that? When are we even, allow that man to be a creative and create something? Give him a platform. I appreciate, the shelter and the program is there, because there was no shelters and programs when I was in these other countries. But I was never homeless in these other countries. And how? I tell you, I hustled, and I stayed in hostels that were similar to these environments, but it was ran like a business that people cared about. So when you see these bathrooms and you see the conditions that we're going through in 2024, you just like, bro, where are we as an economy? Where are we as a people? Where are we as a culture in America? Where are we? Because on one hand, we got AI and all this amazing stuff happening, and I'm gonna go sit in the cafeteria to just give a different scenery. Let me throw trash away. So, my goal is to find a private situation and continue to do that and get support that way and be able to be a voice for these communities that I am a part of that most of the time don't have a voice. Like, in what music and rap songs do you ever, or even conscious songs, like how many of us is speaking up for the condition or just re-entry level, society re-entry level for our men in this country? I hear it spoken of too much. But look, the foreigners stick together, have jobs, and don't even really utilize our system or need to. And they can govern themselves and create businesses, and we can do the same. What some of us do. I know these environments are what you make them. And it's been pretty peaceful to me. I get in these environments and I feel for the men around me. Like always. And it's been happening since I was a child. That's why I created singingforthepeople.com. I'm praying and working to the bone to build more funding for my program and obviously be able to help myself and go straight to. A lot of people say, oh, why do you want to help others? Why do you want to help others? You got to think about yourself. That's what y'all are all doing, and look where it's gotten you. That's what I did. Look where it's gotten me. Like, no, that's not how you serve self. You serve self by serving man. That's how you serve self. Universe rewards you. Those just serve self. No matter what level you're at, you can still be of service to others. So I'm gonna try, or not try. Don't use that word, children. I'm gonna do what I can to be a voice. It's summertime in New York City, and I am not angry at all to be in a men's shelter. Extremely grateful to be in my city. One of the best seasons to be in the city. You know, it's when we act up. It's when we pop out. grateful. I don't spend a lot of time in the Bronx. I don't plan on spending a lot of time in the Bronx until fully being able to be a solution for the Bronx. Then it makes sense. Right now, in my own home, I get pushed around a lot. Money. This shit is so political. They say it's not everything, but it's extremely political. The culture in the city that I was born in, and the children and the youth and majority of the adults don't understand that, because they're set on like I just said, self. Take care of yourself, take care of yourself. I'm gonna take care of mine's. That's a mentality that never had nothing. You ain't never had nothing. So you're super materialistic. But overall, I need to buy myself some time. That's why I'm in there. I gotta buy myself some time to get a car. I'll sleep in my car, rent a car, sleep and work in a car, and work. And meet the right people and take the money that I make and funnel it, the donations. I don't make no money. Take the donations, funnel it to the people around me, and I eat through you guys. I rent through you guys. That's the goal. Like, there's so many solutions to like all of our problems and more when we come together. Even in small groups, and it doesn't make a difference the level. Like, I'm shooting on my old broke 12. Got the 13 in my pocket. I should mix the clips, but with this sunlight it's really clear. Yo, shout out to Kai. I just seen his story on somebody else's channel. He's also from the Bronx. Very proud of pretty ass. Very proud of everybody who made a name for themselves. Everybody who made a name for themselves and is from the Bronx. I'm in a different position. I'm not doing this just for, this is, no matter what YouTube tries to classify me as, this is not only entertainment. This is also educational. So I try to strive to not just pick comedy and music in my messages and in my videos, but education. That's, you know, even if it's not viewed and it's just for me to watch back and review. Education. So, being that I'm a scholar and a boxer and a scholar, even with a small platform, y'all see what I'm taking and what I'm doing with it. I don't even have, I'm not gonna say what I don't have, because I do have. The manpower is coming. It's not physically here in this moment, but the manpower is coming. And the resources to really, you know, just have conversations and allow the people to create the change that they want to see, opposed to just controlling grown thinkers, women and children. When you educate and have conversations, well, first off, the conversation will ignite the education. Because if you can have proper communication and speak to people on their level and be relatable, they'll communicate with you. They'll not only communicate with you, but they'll have a conversation, and that conversation will spark thought. And their thought, that's education. They ask themselves questions. Questions turn into answers. Answers turn into education. So that's what I am. That's a simple put vision of what I see myself doing for my city, not just the Bronx. Walk the streets of New York City. I walk the streets of New York City because people be on the sidewalk fucking confused in their life. Not looking up as they walk, not paying attention to their environments. Like you can physically, so for many years, I used to have to, actually it started in the candid days. That's when that's walking in the street started. Then I went to Asia, every fucking body's walking in the street. They don't give a fuck about these lines, and it was so freeing out there. Like, sometimes you can have so much order, it's no order. We're so civilized here, yet, you know, certain things are a bit out of pocket. You gotta allow people to have the room to think for themselves, especially grown men. If that man is not given the platform to create and build his own, he's not a fucking man, no matter what he calls himself or what y'all call him. Somebody built all of that for him, and we'll break that down on other days. Again, y'all definitions are none of mine. I don't identify with most of what y'all, with a lot of what y'all talking about. And I'm gonna show and prove. Excuse my head being cut off. I'm filming, and I gotta watch my back at the same time. More importantly. So, again, overall, the shelter, it's not a bad experience, but it's also not that helpful. You can do most of what they claim to do for you in days and weeks. They're not really that helpful at all. It actually puts, if you can record the stress levels. For example, I know the stress level of the whole building went up because of what took place from one person. I'm not gonna allow it to put fear in my heart, stress me out, nothing and nobody, not murder, not life. Like, well, definitely life. But no stress. I'm not gonna let stress come from life or death or other situations, other news. A lot of y'all tune into information that has nothing to do with your life and the liberation of your life, and it does the opposite. It brings stress to your life, opposed to the opposite hormone, the happy hormone, the feel-good hormone, and just clarity, mental clarity and meditation. So, yeah, man, I gotta get something to drink. The shelter is for men. I could dig it. I guess a lot of people have their own reasons why. A lot of men have their own reasons why they're not in shelters. But it's a war zone, and it's a battle. It's like jail. I'm telling you, it's like jail. And a lot of men choose to be on the streets, and we need to fix that. That's some bullshit. This is the richest country and the richest city in the world. Culturally, education-wise, unity-wise, though one hand we're not unified, one hand we're all American. And you know, a lot of Americans that don't travel, they act like they do towards Americans, but I guarantee you, the people that are your enemy in America, if we put y'all motherfuckers out, if we put you out, I guarantee you, y'all will all be best friends in these other countries that can't talk to you, they don't relate to you, and all you have is your American neighbors and brothers and sisters. They don't know that because they don't travel. Again, I want to go on a national tour and see what the other men's shelters is like on camera. 'Cause I've seen them off camera. I want y'all to see. So I want to have the option though to stay between like a car and a hotel. It's not easy to stay in these environments. And then again, if I had the money and women and a crew waiting for me outside and a crew inside, I do have the money, I do have the resources. I honestly do. I just have to put the time together to make it happen. But if I can build a strong support system like Cjo did and like Elijah did, I'll go throughout all of these shelters and all of these. Again, I just gotta watch my back. Mentally, physically, financially, emotionally, because I can't serve nobody if I'm not able to, you know, have someone to rely on and do for self. Because what if you're having a day and you cannot do for self? That's what it boils down. Men, who do you go to when you know in your heart you need help? Whatever it is, housing, reading, work, somebody to talk to, somebody to fight for you, not just physically, but in court, or your character. Like, who do men have to believe in? Men. I know ultimately, we're supposed to believe, and we all believe in a higher power within ourselves. Yes, amen. But physically here, what organization, and they say ready, willing, and able, that's a program, and they say they got all these programs out here for men. Y'all, I don't have all of the documentation, but I went to the assessment shelter, re-entry level. They sent me back to my main shelter, in which there was a fucking murder at the shelter. Y'all do the math. I'm not gonna leave you on that. I don't want to just leave you guys on a negative note. All I'm saying is there is room for me and my program and new programs, not just me and mine. There is room because there are many private situations going on all over this country and in the city. There's all kind of, and you know, that's how America likes to sit. There's one side of America that's public, and there is a whole world of America that is private, that's not on YouTube. We all know this. I love myself. I love you all. And let's strive to continue to manifest greatness in real time. Like, this is not the story of now I made it and now I'm on YouTube. No, like, we're gonna make it together.